Good evening, one and all. It's me again. I'm going to talk about Nikolas Cruz yet again. See, we're going to talk about what the future holds for Nikolas Cruz. Obviously, he's not going to get to just walk out of jail or anything like that. It's been exactly 3 months since the shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School, and I figured I would throw even more of my 2 cents into it. See, what's happening here is probably one of 3 things will happen. 3. One, he gets the death penalty. 2, he gets sent to prison in solitary confinement, or he gets sent to a mental hospital for the criminally insane. The third one is the least likely, but it is the most interesting. Because it's like he has autism and all these other conditions, diagnosed with all these other conditions like anxiety, social anxiety disorder, and all that crap. But anyway, what happens is, with that is, he will spend a lot of time in this secure facility, and he will do arts and crafts and whatever, and they'll bombard him with a bunch of useless treatments and put him on a cocktail of useless medications. And he will be an apathetic, docile little thing. And in prison, he will obviously have to be put into protective custody because there's going to be a lot of people that will want him dead. He's already on suicide watch for some reason, even though he's trying to avoid the death penalty. Which brings us to number 1. He gets the death penalty. And if he gets the death penalty, it will lead to a bunch of appeals, and he may or may not get off. The state of Florida will take, if he remains on death row, will take roughly 10 or so years to execute him. And he could be there for a very, very long time. In any case, Nikolas Cruz's brother has since moved to Virginia to escape kind of the stigma of, being Nikolas Cruz's brother. And as a result, he drove 13 hours with their 2 dogs. I forget what breed they were, but they were mixes. In case, Zachary Cruz was arrested for trespassing near the school, and his bail was at over $500,000, $500,000 to be exact. And this was done because he showed the same signs of, the warning signs that Nikolas Cruz did, quote unquote. Granted, what was interesting is that everybody ignored Nikolas Cruz until he started killing people. However, it is also worth noting throughout that whole thing is that, okay, Nikolas Cruz was, some people, was there more that could be done? Probably, but is it fair to say nothing was done? No, because he was banned from having a backpack. He was expelled from Stoneman Douglas High School and was sent to an alternative school. So it's not like nobody did anything. As far as, the thing about I want to be a professional school shooter and all that crap, like that he said he wanted to be a professional school shooter. It's like, maybe there was something they could have done with that, but, I mean, if the FBI followed up every threat that was made, they wouldn't have time for anything else. They wouldn't even have time to verify and check out all the threats, because people make threats every day. I mean, every president that gets a lot of every president of the United States has gotten a bunch of death threats, and yeah, they examine all of them and all that shit, but you can't pursue all of them. I mean, some people will slip through the cracks. It's just that simple. And with Nikolas Cruz with his head hanging down, that's a good sign of autism, because he obviously doesn't like to look people in the eye. And he just was not well socialized in any shape or form. He clearly was not. In any case, there is just so much shit that is going to come out, and already has come out, but there's a lot more that will come out. I mean, the story of Nikolas Cruz, I mean, it's like he should have done what most of these guys do and just or killed himself. But that's not what happened here. We got a live one, and he's not very talkative. I hope that they can get more out of him so we can study him and figure out, what makes these guys tick. Because what made Nikolas Cruz tick might not have been what made Elliot Rodger tick, what made Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold tick. It may not be what made Charles Whitman tick. I mean, no. There are just so many details that we have to look at. Because it's like, this is a category, somebody likened it to a school shooting to a Category 5 hurricane. Sometimes all the perfect conditions for a Category 5 hurricane are there, but they don't appear. They can sometimes form smaller hurricanes or not hurricanes at all. But I do think that there are numerous examples of lesser hurricanes, like I've said in my previous videos, it's like some of them may become professional fighters and beat people up. Some of them may become, cops who bully people. Some of them may become judges who like to hear defendants squirm. Some of them may become district attorneys. Some of them, become school administrators and asshole teachers and things like that. But there are just so many things. But they do it in ways they don't go to jail, and some people choose lesser ways that will get you in prison, such as being a bank robber or a street fighter or whatever. They look for ways to achieve power and control. And, see, you may ask why somebody would do this, but if your life is miserable and you don't care if you live or die and you have a ton of enemies, you realize that there's no reason not to go on a killing spree, because if you go on a killing spree, what's the worst? What will the world do? Kill you? Who cares? You're going to die anyway. Because all you have, it's like more pain, more misery over the years. And you're just like, you know what, fuck it. And they're like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go on a killing spree. And that doesn't always happen. Some people suicide out, but I tend to think that, they get suicidal thoughts, and but they don't kill themselves, and somewhere beyond suicidal thoughts they decide that, maybe some of them decide that, after being suicidal for so long, you know what, they decide that they want to make something of their death. They're like, I want to make something of my death. I want to burn myself into the pages of history forever. Because, the media will basically give them a medal for doing this horrible stuff. And granted, it is a medal of infamy. It's not, but it's still recognition. It's still attention. And it's like infamy and notoriety are similar in almost every way. You still get a lot of attention. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad attention. It's attention. And they want to eliminate from any doubt in their mind, any fear that they are nobody. They want to be remembered forever. In any case, I hope you liked my video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.